amulets, Aries, peptides, wind candles, snake traps
today. I had some Jennifer Aniston peptides today.
On your skin, or do you eat it?
I eat it. I made a smoothie of strawberries, cashews, and Jennifer Aniston peptides.
Good. Shout out to Adam Caldwell. Nice to see you, Adam.
Here's Adam and Caldwell. Like, Adam is a small person and Caldwell's a very, very large person. So that's why that's funny to me.
Okay. Like, who's the guy? Who's the guy I met?
6 inches and 150 pounds on him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good weekend in the Discord. MMA was fun to sweat with the guys. I don't typically hang around on that channel, but they're funny as hell.
MMA is, oh man, the best is because it like the main event's at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Everybody is just like blacked out of their mind.
Pride.
And so the like every round, somebody's going nuts.
Well, and two, like, I wasn't watching it. I was watching hockey, so I was looking at updates on Discord to see how poorly I was doing. And so Matty Ice 7-4 just started saying, "Wow, that's it," without any context. I'm like, "Wow, what?" He's like, "Wow." I'm like, "Fuck
wow,
you." Wow, what does this mean, dude?
There was a lot of wow shit.
Yeah, Mickey Gall.
The entire government was sitting in the front row.
Yep,
which was crazy.
The pop
they just didn't invite JD Vance because nobody likes him. Everybody else was there.
Sunday wild slate too with NFL. We were just talking about it beforehand, how the last penalty that was on the Seattle-San Francisco game with the fumble from the lateral from Deebo Samuel was initially there's a penalty of the play. It was initially declined, but then reversed.
Yeah, the scoring on that was very strange. I honestly didn't know which way it went. Like, I wasn't following. Like, it went the people who didn't want Seattle defense to lap them. Right. Or it had Deebo Samuel who got a catch, but then gave it to somebody else to fumble it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, so good friend circling the drain, OG in the industry, shipped a Millie. And then last night, my guy Joe Burrow, who you hate, I think you try to fish hook me a little bit into just replying to your tweets. I know you hate him, but he's.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Who won?
That's a good question. That's a good point.
Who won the game? Joe Burrow had a lot of opportunities to win that game at the end. Who won?
They can't expect him to put up 30 points a game. A half.
I mean, when you spend all of your cap on offense, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so if you're not good enough, the Bills spend that money on Josh Allen. They don't have a problem.
They have a terrible, terrible defense. Chiefs going to
listen, but that's the thing. You spend 80-90% of your cap on offense, like the quarterback has to be good enough. And if they're going to pay Chase and Higgins too, it's like the defense is going to get worse, not better.
Oh, it's bad.
So Higgins is gone, I think.
Gone.
And obviously my dumbass Panthers are going to pay for him.
Chase may be gone too.
I hope it would be better for the Bengals if Chase was gone so they could spend some more money elsewhere, because spending all of that money on Burrow and receivers, like, it's going to continue to be like this.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen Jermaine Burton catch a ball?
No, he sucks.
Yeah. Also talking about the optimal, yes. What's that?
I've seen him pull a slot machine.
Yeah, 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. The optimal yesterday, at $20, just for context, in terms of the build, was Goff quarterback, Breece Hall running back, David Montgomery running back, ASB wide receiver, thanks Dan Campbell, Jerry Jeudy with bomb, optimal.
I had Jerry Jeudy a lot, and Hill.
Westbrook Akine, punt.
That killed me with Westbrook Akine. Didn't have him.
Taysom had to have him. I mean, that was no Taysom, no money, and then Jonnu Smith and flex with Broncos defense.
Well, the thing is, Jonnu Smith, I think the lineup that came in second in the middle didn't have Taysom Hill. I think it had Brock Bowers and Jonnu Smith.
It's amazing. Brock Bowers had more points than Jonnu Smith. He had a huge day.
Yeah,
and still
Brock Bowers was suboptimal with like 37.
Correct, because the price wouldn't fit him in. Because there was so much difference in defense scoring too. Broncos put up a number on defense.
Right, and they were the only team that put up a number.
There were some moves to Jennings. Jennings had another good day.
Yeah.
Steelers defense and Bowers were the other ones. But if you didn't have Goff and you didn't have Taysom Hill, you're going fucking nowhere.
Yeah, well.
Or ASB.
My core quarterback was fucking Stafford. He throws 4 touchdowns. Nothing.
Nothing.
And I had a ton of Winston, 31 points, nothing.
It's amazing when you get a quarterback who puts up a 40-piece.
Dude, and it was just crazy because it's like the lineup that was winning the Millie for a long time was literally just like a dude in a Lions uniform at the tailgate, wasted, and he picked Goff, Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Brock Wright, and the Lions defense. And he was winning the Millie for like the whole slate.
Yeah. Good for him. But it just
I'm
won't.
Sure he still made some money.
It just won't. He probably made $500. It won't win in the end. So there you go. And it was a 48-5 lineup, optimal, 277. The winning was, I think, Josh.
A lot of cheap receivers went nuts. Westbrook-Ikhine was really cheap.
Yep.
The 3,100 guy for the Patriots did well. Blanking Kendrick Bourne.
Bourne did, yes.
Kendrick Bourne. Taysom was only 4,500.
Yes. In fact, I will. And you know what? Puka and Cooper Kupp had monster days.
Yes.
But ASB just priced him out.
Well, they priced him out. And if you had both, you probably had Stafford and you probably had New England run backs. So unless you had just a single run back with just Bourne, it was kind of dead.
Bo Nix had a good day, 31 points.
Bo Nix is better than Jaden Daniels. I said that on Twitter yesterday. Too much hatred, but Bo Nix is better than Jaden Daniels.
You were going for some yesterday. Noah Gray, 18 points. There were a lot of cheap.
I was not going for something. I was dead ass.
I mean, you can't say Burrow's
better than Daniels. Bo Nix can throw better than Daniels. He has a better coach than Daniels. He's faster than Daniels, and he's been like, he's been going.
You said it.
Daniels is RG3. Bo Nix has been improving every single game, and I'm a Bo Nix hater. This motherfucker sucked at Auburn. He looks good.
Yeah, you were the first to say that, Daniel.
I did. Daniels I said he was RG3.
Last optimal showdown that we did, Barkley captain, Hurts. Barkley captain, kudos to you. Hurts, Robinson, Eckler, Ertz, and Bates. No wide receivers for Philly. Double running back for Washington.
The double running back for Washington was purely a function of Jaden Daniels' inability to throw the ball at all.
Yeah.
So he just dumped it to Eckler every play. He completed like 2 passes to receivers. I was kind of pissed because I had on last drive I had a sweat. If Daniels runs it in rather than throwing it to Ertz, it's like $100,000 swing for me.
Bates $600. I mean, you could honestly have a zero at the $100 mark and not matter. I mean, people had Davis. I like Davis Allen last week for the Rams. There were great lineups with Davis Allen 0.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we got Danny DeVito this week, our man. 4K.
Dude, he cooked last year.
4K Stone Min. Options. All right, this week, Dallas, Houston. What's our score? What's your score, Mark? You're calculating it.
27-10.
Yeah, I was I was 27-16, and I was being generous to Dallas.
That's going over. I don't think it's going over.
I could see Houston getting 3 touchdowns and a field goal.
Yeah, 24-10, 24-13.
Unless Aubrey has 3 field goals, but I don't see them moving the ball down the field that well. I could see Cooper. I could see him putting up a 0. He put up a 0 last week. Cooper Rush.
He looked worse than he did before.
Yes.
And you also worry that they're going to pull him and put in Lance if he starts sucking.
And Houston's defense has been good.
Unless if I'm on the Cowboys, I'm going through the motions. Obviously they'll try tonight, but this week, I can't imagine they were doing a lot of strenuous work in practice.
Where Tommy DeVito go to school?
Syracuse.
Is that the answer?
I think so. Could be wrong.
I'm going to say like Rutgers. We got to beat the chat. Tommy DeVito. Some New York slap's going to know this. Illinois. Syracuse.
Illinois. Wrong arm.
Syracuse. You got it.
What?
Syracuse. You got it.
You did?
He transferred to Illinois.
There you go.
That counts.
That counts.
He went to Don Bosco Prep in New Jersey.
He's so Italian. John is stats. He's so happy. Anytime that that they show his agent on the screen, the guy with the suits and the fedoras,
America needs him.
Yeah, that guy is legend.
That's a good question. I mean, in a blowout script, I mean, there's not a lot of pieces on Dallas that are.
Maybe I think if you play a 5-1, you need to have the Texans defense on it.
Yeah.
In utility.
Yep. The only reason I don't is because I think it's going to be a 3-stud Houston game. I think all the points are going to their studs. And I think Aubrey is a decent play, like an 11-point kicker.
I still prefer Kaimi Fairbairn to Aubrey.
Do you?
Yeah. Just by virtue of opportunity. I always worry about these situations where you have a golden kicker, but the team can't move the ball because, ultimately the kicker can't score unless the other people can get the ball down the field. I hope that Dallas's plan this game is just to, throw it to CeeDee Lamb every fucking play and just hope that it works. That would be what I would do. But it's hard to put any faith in that.
His projected ownership is 30%. So people are still going to own CeeDee Lamb at that price.
I'll have CeeDee Lamb, but I don't think he's a better play than Nico Collins.
Absolutely not.
But it's close-ish.
I'd probably have Nico Collins captain 1.
Joe Mixon's projection is just insane. And
he's got 23, and as 23 is that's a 100-yard game.
His over-under is somewhere in there. I mean, if they're way ahead, they're going to pound the rock.
And they really don't have much to back him up. He spends a lot of time on the field.
Yeah.
Mixon
what's
Collins.
crazy is he was terrible for the Bengals, and this year he's been good. Like as good as a running back can actually be.
But that's the decisions the Bengals make. They extend a kicker. They sign Geno Stone, who's the worst safety in the league, from Baltimore. They let Joe Mixon, who would have came back at a discount because he loves the city so much, and he did everything for him and was durable, never got hurt, 6 feet 240, and they
give him the ball 40 times a game, and he never got hurt.
And then and he loves the team, loves he's orange and white, orange and black.
I'm shocked that he is playing well. I really am. And I think that the Bengals also thought he was done.
It shows you how bad the offensive line for the Bengals is.
Well, it's better this year.
It's better this year, but the defensive line and offensive line.
Well, Hendrickson's good.
Yeah, they have the guy with the most sacks in the league, the best wide receiver, in my mind, the best quarterback, or 1A. and they're 4-7. Is that Giants squid with you?
Winning single possession games is a tangible quarterback stat. If you look over time, the only quarterbacks that have a winning, like a substantially higher than expected winning record in single possession games are your Peyton Mannings, your Aaron Rodgerses, your Brady's, your people like that. So the fact that the Bengals are 1-6 in one possession games is 100% on Burrow.
Yeah.
You can blame McPherson all you want. Good quarterbacks don't settle for 50-yard field goals.
Yeah. We'll debate that for another day, but I may be leaning into your side. Okay, so the easy parts are on Houston in that, Collins, Mixon, probably likely captain, CJ Stroud likely going to be there, albeit he's kind of had a not my expected year for CJ Stroud. I put him at 17.5. He's regressed. I don't think it's going to be one of those games where Houston's shocked and they lose. Because I think Dallas is kind of in Bengals land with a worse quarterback and kind of quitting. But I have a 17.5 point projection on CJ Stroud. Coleridge, Bernard, somehow CJ Stroud the fourth.
I like 17.5 for CJ Stroud sounds right, just because I think they're not really going to have to throw it. Correct. But I would have said that yesterday about Jared Goff. So
you would have said that yesterday at the half with Jared Goff.
Yeah, for some reason, Dan Campbell wanted Doug Peterson to get fired. Like that's the only logic for what the Lions did.
I actually Googled that on a Reddit today to say, is there a beef between these two men that he wanted to bury him? And maybe he's just trying to put him out of his misery and get him fired. I don't know.
Dude. Jesus. The Amon-Ra possession of the fourth quarter still kills me.
I couldn't believe it.
Every play to him.
Yeah. What if he got injured?
I mean, I do have some respect for it. If you want to stop it, then fucking stop it.
Dan Campbell's a machine. Coleridge, Bernard, CJ. Somehow Coleridge, Bernard, Stroud the fourth. And he got CJ. So everyone's CJ now. You're Mark, CJ. Insert last name. Flournoy. Yeah, Vip. I on a very few punt night, or maybe not necessary cheap play night, and some of them you could remove entirely, especially on the Houston side. Flournoy was.
You like Flournoy over Jalen Brooks?
Jalen Brooks is $2,000. Flournoy's $200.
I still like Jalen Brooks a lot better.
Oh, I like Jalen Brooks a lot better. I just don't think you'll need the 1.5 from Flournoy tonight.
Well, I mean, shit. If you're playing Mixon, Lamb, Collins, like both of these offenses are kind of funnily.
Yeah.
Like, people hate Dallas, but it's like, I love Dallas Showdown because it's like, it's very easy to parse what's going to happen. Like, where they're going to go with the ball.
Ferguson's a good 5'8".
Whoever's starting at running back.
Yep.
It's just like, and Tolbert will get some, and like that's what they do. The last time we had a Dallas Cowboys showdown was when Bryce won the $300,000. And
was it Zeke?
Zeke.
Yep. And guess who's out tonight? Lemke. And
Zeke's so he can't blow his money on Lepke today.
No. Can't blow it on Lemke.
Can't blow your money on Lepke today.
But now you got $2,600 flex Zeke at, let's say he gets the touchdown, so he's 7. He's my highest value player overall on the entire slate.
Yeah, the only guy I have more in flex than Zeke is Joe Mixon right now. And Stroud.
Yeah,
I've got Zeke like almost 50%.
What the hell are these fucking lineups? Oops, there it is. Guess what I did, Mark?
I don't know.
Something really dumb.
You're talking to yourself.
Yeah, I did something very dumb.
It wouldn't be the first time.
That's right. Hopefully the last time.
One thing I will say about Jake Ferguson, as far as his performance today, his future brother-in-law Carson Beck threw for about 400 yards and got a big win on Saturday. So maybe he's hyped up because his girlfriend's hyped up because her sister's hyped up. So maybe Ferguson has a big day. Are you just gonna sit there staring at the fucking screen, bro?
Here's what it's doing. It's not giving me any captain Joe Mixon. It's giving me 8 in flex on 150 lineups. And I'm like, why? At a 22-point projection. That doesn't make any sense. He's by far my highest projected, so I'm like, something's wrong here.
I mean, that's got to be something with the ownership projection.
I'm trying to see if I can. Sorry, I'm just talking. I am listening somewhat.
I was
waiting for your death and or illness.
Well, no, the death and or illness was when earlier in the chat after you said that Burton had never caught a ball, but somebody said he's beaten his girlfriend. Yeah, which is true.
That was Tua Tagovailoa. No, it was not. It was Burton. That was Mixon too.
No, Mixon. A random woman called him a racial slur, so he beat her ass.
Okay,
which is, I'm not going to argue the validity of that.
I do like how you have this in your edge-seeking library.
You have to know these things.
Right.
So we're going to talk Jonathan Mingo because somebody in the chat suggested it.
This is game 1 for Mingo, right?
Yeah. Why would they have traded for him if they're not going to fucking throw him out there? I don't like his projection being that low. I'm going to bump him. He may not know the offense as well, just because he's a dumbass. But wow, yeah, I agree.
But that's what he's doing. This is we created a cult in MMA on Saturday night. Everyone's just dropping wow with no context. But go ahead. Sir.
Oh, this is arguable validity as well. Regarding Burton. Yeah, why, dude? Stop the storming the field thing. It's like, if you're gonna do it, like, I get it. I've done it before, but if you get punched in the face, like, that could happen.
Okay, we are back to normal now. I ran my Columbus settings.
Indigenous.
Yes, and it saved it. Yeah. 58% Joe Mixon captain makes sense at 23 points.
But yeah, no, I want to bump Mingo just because, they may want to see what they have.
So Mingo's projection right now, and I saw it before I came on the show, and it's also like 1. It's part of me.
Like 1.
Yeah. Which is a catch and going nowhere. Like, at least do 2. Get 10 yards.
Well, I mean, no, it's half a catch is what it is. Huh? It's like it's like a target.
It's you catch the ball and you stay at the line of scrimmage, and you're off the field.
It's like you throw it to him, maybe he catches it. There you
go. By the way, yesterday, a part of the winning script for the winner in the Millie was Estime running 12 feet at the end of the game.
Yeah,
12 American feet.
It's funny. I had a friend, and he texts me probably 12:55, and he's like, "I have 4,500 in flex. Should I play Estime or Taysom Hill?" And I said Taysom Hill.
Good for you.
And he didn't do it.
Oh, bad for him. Who was it? Caldwell?
No, it was my other buddy. To shout out Josh for not playing Taysom Hill. Smart. But yeah, I mean, I think the general logic behind playing Estime yesterday was that running back was, if you played him, you thought running back was weak, and running back did end up being weak. But most of that,
we've rarely seen double tight end.
Most of most of the reason that the running back was weak was because the running back that scored was Taysom Hill, and he took all of Kamara's points.
Yeah.
So it's like Kamara got tackled on the 1 like 4 times. It's like there's easily a world where Kamara and Hill split those points, which would have been a lot fucking better for me because I had like 60% out of Kamara.
And there was also the lie that Estime was going to be the starter and get more.
Yeah, and Javonte got like all of it. Sean Payton was a douche in New Orleans, and he's still a douche.
And McLaughlin got the second most, and then they ran a third. He was like the 4th stringer, but still did enough. So Twig is having the same problems as me. I was trying to figure that out, Twig. I ran it again and it worked. I bumped him to 23 points. That shouldn't have made a difference. He was at 22, but now he's in lineups. Before he was not. So I think it may have been a SaberSim thing. Refresh it, try it again. Maybe it'll work. Full fade on Cooper Rush, right?
No, I'm definitely going. Like this is a spot that I always lean into it. I'm going to play like 60% Cooper, 50-60% Cooper Rush in utility.
Cheap quarterback. I think
backup quarterback that nobody wants to play. You know, there was the showdown for the Munich.
That'd be double quarterback. Dallas would be interesting.
Yeah. The showdown for the Munich game. I played like all in on Bryce Young at utility, and he was only like 25% owned, and he was optimal.
Yeah.
So you know, ultimately, Cooper Rush touches the ball every fucking play. Fading him is not the right idea.
The point is, do you want him touching the ball?
Yeah.
He put up a 0 last week. At best, and this is him throwing a ball in the end zone. I have him at 9.
Rush, I have it.
You just say 12.5.
13.
Yeah.
Hold on. Vip made a good point. Brooks may be inactive if they bump Mingo, in which case Mingo would take Brooks's projection and probably become the best value play other than Zeke.
Or Flournoy, who's starting, evidently.
But they traded a 4th rounder for Mingo. I think he's going to play.
Looking back, by the way, today, because I was looking at Vrabel bios because I really want him as the next coach of the Bengals. The Tennessee Titans traded A.J. Brown for what ended up being Treylon Burks.
Yeah.
That's got to be in the basket of worst trades over the last decade.
Well, A.J. Brown makes a lot of money.
And plays.
And it's just, you know, it's like, as I like to remind you, Joe Burrow also makes a lot of money. The money could have been spent on better players elsewhere, and then you wouldn't need to score 30 points in a game. The Titans are not one wide receiver away from being good.
I would take more validity to your argument if your team was not the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. I think that's proof that money does not win games because the Carolina Panthers owner has as much money as all of the other owners put together, and we still suck shit.
I am on Stats's. He made a lot of sense for me in our chat when he said that teams need CEOs. They don't need coordinators as coaches.
I
agree with you. Mike Tomlin's the best coach maybe ever in the NFL.
Tomlin, you need a Dan Campbell. You need, you know, your guys that the players will look at and think they might kick their ass.
And let your coordinators coordinate.
Harbaugh. Look at Harbaugh. They took a defensive coach, Staley, and replaced him with an offensive coach, Harbaugh, and the defense somehow is what got better because Harbaugh is like in there lifting with the players at 4:45 in the morning.
Yes, correct.
Like that's what you need. Like the coordinators can be little nerdy guys, but you need a big motherfucker to be the head coach.
But instead, you got clueless Zach Taylor with the calling plays late in the game.
Zach Taylor, man, is he getting fatter? I feel like he's gained a bunch of weight.
He knows it's over. He knew at halftime it was over. Look at the interview. He knows it's done.
Dude, that was one of the weakest fucking interviews I've seen.
Yeah. Oh, we just need to pull it together. We need to make some stops. Oh, make some stops.
Devin Scott, correct. Beta boy in Miami is a tough scene. I totally agree with that. I like Mike McDaniel as a coach, or is that
coordinator?
What?
As a coordinator?
Am I thinking of Mike?
It's Mike. You know, you're right.
Mike McDaniel. Who's the Seahawks coach?
Pete Carroll. Oh no,
it's also McDaniel, which is why I'm confused. But yes, Mike McDaniel. I just the players have to not respect him. Tyreek Hill just yells in his face every between every possession.
Sterling, I would say I have Rico at a 9. I'm going to say Zeke has equal opportunity to get the touchdown today. I have Tank Dell more.
Oh, I like Rico over Tank Dell.
I have Tank Dell 11.5
because I don't think like Cooper Rush, backup quarterback, like he's serviceable. He's played well in the past, but backup quarterbacks do tend to default to checking the ball down a lot.
Yeah.
And Zeke doesn't catch the ball.
I do like Ferguson in that regard.
So Ferguson and Dowdle would be the ones who would get those touches.
Oh, even with a 9 spot on Dowdle, I'm still getting a ton of them. Or
Mike
Zeke
McDonald. Mike McDonald.
So you had one of the names correct.
Yeah.
Is a Mike.
And a prefix.
Has there ever been a good Mike at anything?
No, Mike McCarthy sucks. Michael Jordan sucks. No, but he went by Michael. If you go by Mike, that's tough.
I had the Travises come at me on the Sunday show. Travis Petty, Mangone. It was a gang up.
Dude, Mangone. He is such a disgrace to the name Travis. I will say this. My parents told me that if they didn't name me Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, they would have named me Travis.
Yeah. You're Travis. I could see that. Dowdle, where did he go to college?
Dowdle? Texas A&M.
I was going to say Texas A&M too.
Yep. Maybe it's right. Vip, did he go to Texas A&M?
We got to beat the chat. Fat fucking fingers. Oh, man.
Oh, you did. He got you.
I did. He went to South Carolina.
Mike. That's a good Mike right there. Mike Tomlin.
Oh, yeah. I never said there were bad mics. I said there were a lot of great mics. South Carolina. Got it.
South Carolina. Fuck.
See, Joe Ruff just put in. This is what you do in the comment section. You just throw something out there and hope it sticks. You don't go searching it. You're never going to beat me on the phone. South Carolina. I would have never said South Carolina.
Start typing shit.
Wow. Okay, so Ferguson, yes. Ferguson like Aubrey, like Cooper Rush, non-fade. Who's your worst expensive-ish play? Or popular player? Huh?
The worst play that's expensive?
Or highly owned?
Tank Dell. Tank Dell is priced like Collins is not playing. He's too expensive. The second worst play is the Texans defense.
Oh my God. $6,000 defense? We don't see that very often, dude.
Yeah. Horrible play. You're paying more for the Texas defense than Jake Ferguson. That's insane.
You know what? My two are Tank Dell. CeeDee Lamb's not a great play for me either, but I have him down.
I like CeeDee Lamb just fine, but he's not like among those top 4. He's the worst, but he's still a much better play than Tank Dell.
And surprisingly, unlike other nights, I'm not getting a ton of 5-1.
Yeah, I like the split builds here because even if it's low scoring, and Dallas doesn't do much, you could get a situation where you get cheap Dallas players and expensive Houston players. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a lineup win that's like, a captain Nico Collins with Mixon and Stroud, but then you're punting 2 Dallas people.
Yeah, so I would say that Rance, a Texans defense would have to put up about a 15 piece to really shake it up.
Right, they need a touchdown. I don't think the Texans defense is optimal without a touchdown. And veteran backup quarterbacks, that tends to be the one thing they try to avoid is throwing the ball to the defense.
Yeah, because Schultz is $1,200 cheaper. Probably gets the touchdown. I would say he gets it.
I like Schultz. I like Ferguson. I like Kaimi Fairbairn, and Tolbert's fine. Honestly, among the defenses, I would much prefer Dallas because at 3,600, if they score a touchdown, they're optimal, period. If the Texans defense scores a touchdown, it's a maybe.
Do you agree with Texans ownership and flex at 10%? I don't agree with that projection.
I think it's going to be a lot higher than that.
Yeah, even at 6,200. I mean, I like the fact that they priced it up so people are going to make a decision.
Defense is going to be 30-40% owned.
Really?
And I'm going to fade it. And if I get killed, I get killed.
SaberSim has it at 10% right now, projected in flex.
It's going to be way higher than that, just because if you're clicking through a lineup, say your guy's just clicking through one lineup and you see the game. Hello, Andrew Caldwell.
Same guy, right?
I'm starting to think that this is not my friend Andrew Caldwell and just another guy. Because Andrew Caldwell does not call me JBC.
Who is the guy we met on the phone from Georgia who's intelligent and
Adam? Wait, what?
The guy we met your friend from Georgia.
Oh no, he didn't go to UGA. That guy went to Florida State.
Is that?
That's Adam. That's not Adam Schlechter. No.
Oh, fuck. So there's 3 guys.
Although it is funny to me that you thought a black guy had a Jewish name.
I'm not good at that. Canadians all have native names. You're named after animals.
Yeah, I don't think there are many black guys with Jewish last names.
Spider-Man meme.
Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, let's just play that. Let's just play this. That this is your friend, and I'm going to pick someone's my friend.
Me. I'm your only friend here.
Probably. Zeke, 45% in flex in 20 maxes. Zeke,
yeah,
I'm getting a lot of him.
Yeah, 45 is about right.
45% is the projected ownership in the Millie.
I literally ran it with my indigenous settings, 45.33%.
What, that's your build is 45%?
Utility, Zeke, 45.33%. Yeah.
That is in my Columbus settings, that his projected ownership is 45.73%.
It's called being good, bro.
You're right on the screws. Well, what's your projection? 8. You're going to say 8.
5.5.
Oh, 5.5. Interesting. I'm going to figure out why that's the case. You must have. I think it's a factor of Brandon Aubrey. You have a lower projection on.
I have Brandon Aubrey at 10%.
What's his projection? 7.
7.
Yeah, that's why. Mine is sacrificing Zeke to get more Aubrey.
Think about Brandon Aubrey. Even if he kicks 50-yard field goal, maybe an extra point or 2, 7.
Yeah.
Field goal.
Yeah, I'm pushing it with him. I'm saying
40-yard field goal, a 30-yard field goal, and an extra point is 8.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't see it.
I have 1 extra point and 3 field goals, but 3 field goals is ambitious.
3 field goals is them crossing the 50.
That's right.
I think it's more likely they score 2 touchdowns than they kick 3 field goals.
That's why when you said 27-10, I'm like, fuck. I'm giving Dallas way too much credit getting down the field.
Yeah, it's like they could score. I think it's more like, let's put it this way. I think it's more likely they score 17 than 16.
Okay, in that situation, if we split the difference and he gets 2 field goals, then he is, and I'm not giving him a long one, then he's at 7. You're right. Fuck.
7, 8.
Huh?
He would need to kick 3 to be optimal, because even 2 long ones, if he gets 11,
Yeah, I mean it's a stretch to say he'll get 3 field goals and one of them is going to be over 49 yards.
Right. Although I will say this, they may be more inclined to attempt long field goals with the shitty quarterback than they would otherwise. So it's like, say you got a 4th and 1 on the 42, they may kick it.
Watch what happens now that I put him lower than Zeke or at Zeke. Aubrey's going to be fucking.
I mean, yeah, obviously it could happen because he makes all his field goals, which is something apparently that doesn't happen anymore in the NFL. The kickers yesterday were just missing all over the place.
Yeah. Lamb is also dealing with a back injury. Yeah.
What makes you think CeeDee Lamb is a diva? I really don't see many public comments from CeeDee Lamb.
Well, his name is 2 letters, CD.
No, it's not. His name is Ceeddee. That's his name.
Tucker is washed. Yeah.
Tucker might be washed. I think that Tucker, like, his confidence kind of got to his head. So once, like, he was acting like very non-kicker-ish. And,
that's a genius bit.
I do that shit all the time.
I did it on Twitter the other day.
That's like my thing. That's like my thing.
I just hope no one asks me, well, what do you think? That I'm like, I just
yeah. Here we go. Here's another solid theory. Jerry's going to turn on the artificial sun in the stadium tonight to blind his players again.
So they can get Shadur Sanders.
Hold up. No. Wait, wrong one. Hold up. Fucking No, that guy at UGA last weekend kicked that field goal. Motherfucker was straight down the middle. He won $800,000. I saw it. No problem. No problem.
Okay.
Kicking is just something that requires muscle memory and practice, which Brandon Aubrey has proved because Brandon Aubrey played soccer his whole life and never played football. And then he just decided to start training, and he's the greatest kicker in the history of the fucking
NFL. They had it set up outside Bengals Stadium. I forget what game it was. I'm looking at Ryan, but they had the goalpost set up. You kick an extra point, you win something. Kicking an extra point was easy. And did it in freaking
You talking about the old extra point? The old extra point.
The old extra point. Yeah, I did it in deck
shoes. The new extra point is not easy. I think I could make an old extra point. I could not make a new extra point. Although, speaking of, we're talking about kicking being easy. If you recall, in Lexington, Big Kev, shout out Big Kev, our friend of the program, RPS coordinator, told us he could kick a 50-yard field goal. Some people called bullshit, and he went and he kicked a 50-yard field goal.
At the house we were at?
Yes, he kicked a 50-yard field goal.
Yeah, I missed that.
We measured out 50 yards, and he just boomed that shit.
Who held it? Or did you have a tee?
I think Mangone held it, and Snyder went and chased it down.
Snyder measured it out.
You see, Snyder, Big Kev was kicking. He was Big Kev, and Big Kev. By the way, it's not big.
No, he's compact. He's compact. He's definitely a soccer player.
His leg is as wide as my waist, his calf muscle. So he could definitely kick my ass, but he was kicking strong. He killed it.
Still getting a lot of Aubrey, but more Zeke Elliott now. He's coming for Elliott Tucker's job. Not sure how that happens. Okay. Butker over Aubrey. Maybe.
No. Aubrey's the best kicker.
I used to think Evan McPherson was the best kicker. He's not the best kicker on the team.
You thought the same thing about Joe Burrow. It's because you're biased. You know what? You'd have for as much pain as the Bills have been through, you'd be better off if you just picked the Bills.
I want to become a Bills fan. I woke up one morning and I just said, why am I a Bengals fan? What's the point?
You shouldn't be. You're from fucking Canada. All Canadians cheer.
I know. I came to the United States and they, it was Chad Johnson and Carson Palmer. I thought, oh, this sounds like a good team to follow.
Do people in British Columbia cheer for the Seahawks?
Yeah.
That makes sense. I guess Vancouver is also in.
Yeah. A lot of Toronto fans cheer for the Bills.
Yeah, Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I always think of the Bills. When I think of Canadian football teams, I think of the Bills.
Yeah. Yeah. We got, that's all we had was Buffalo Radio growing up and Jim
and
Kelly.
Also the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
There's two Roughriders, Saskatchewan and Ottawa. So you can choose which one.
No, aren't the Ottawa the Red Blacks now?
Sorry, that they were the Roughriders, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You don't know as much about the CFL as I do.
Well, who won the Grey Cup?
Fuck. I know Hamilton lost.
Okay, who did they lose to?
Toronto.
No.
Fuck. Calgary.
I don't know either. I'm going to say BC Lions.
I know Hamilton lost.
It's the fucking Argos.
I did have it. I got it right, you fucking asshole.
Wait, Toronto won the Grey Cup and I didn't even fucking know it?
Yeah. Who's the quarterback for the Argonauts?
Nick Arbuckle.
What? Did you just make that name up?
No. I just saw the first thing I could look at. Nick Arbuckle.
I know some guy who was like a 2-bit college quarterback is the Hamilton quarterback, and he's been to he set a record. He's been to 5 Grey Cups in a row.
They all go to American colleges.
Oh, Nick Arbuckle. Right. But I'm saying he's been to 5 Grey Cups in a row, and it was like a record. The losing quarterback.
Doug Flutie. Nick Arbuckle went to Georgia State. Just to let you know.
Yes. Georgia State. Yep. He was pretty good.
Yep.
That was right when Georgia State went to he's got to be young. He's got the guy on the other team was 40 years old.
Not one person from Canada told me Toronto won the Grey Cup.
Is TJ Hushmanzada, is he Canadian?
No, he's not.
Are you sure?
No, he was on the roster when I first came down here that sucked me into the Bengals. He's not Canadian, 1,000%.
No, he's from California.
But he also said that when he first started with the Bengals, if you want to understand how miserable and cheap they are, they wouldn't provide the team water during practices. They had to go find a drinking fountain. Correct. They had to bring their own.
That's certainly a thing.
Yeah, it's. Oh, here's the other one I want to talk about. John Mechie. Good game last week, but he's being pushed out for Collins.
Yeah, I had John Mechie cord last week and scored a touchdown. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Got 98% Mixon. Yeah.
Yeah, I twig. I'm getting like, if I don't adjust it, it's giving me like 35% Mixon captain and like 55 in flex. So it's giving me like 90%.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems crazy, but he just keeps doing it.
I think what's the salary differential here? Yeah, it's because he's so expensive, and I think that he has to have a massive night for.
Yeah, but again, they're gonna pound the rock because the Cowboys are pretty ass. Who's the first TD call? CJ Stroud rushing.
Let's say Dalton Schultz.
Schultz, okay.
Tight end. I think both tight ends get one tonight.
Aubrey.
What's the seppuku? What's the seppuku line of the night?
Oh man, the seppuku is I mean, the seppuku, now that we've shit on him, the seppuku has to be the Texans defense scoring twice.
Twice or once?
Twice.
Okay. It's got to be a read.
Twice. Seppuku bets are twice. If the Texans defense and special teams scores twice, then that's it.
Okay. I'll say Flournoy scores 2 touchdowns.
That's your
no. Cooper Rush throws for 300. Let's just say that.
Oh, that's you got Cooper Rush 300.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I guess both are on the same wavelength.
I don't know. I mean, I'm already culturally appropriating their method of self-harm. I don't know if I can also wear the outfit.
Right. You did have the drinking implements last week. Does Ferguson make captain pool if we think Rush does short passes? I think his price is so good.
Nope.
You don't think so?
Some expensive person is going to go fucking ballistic. One of those main, your Mixon, Lamb, Collins people, one of those three is getting like 30.
But a 455 night for Ferguson at that price, 5,800 is pretty good.
He won't be. Look at last night. What was the guy? Disley. There was a Disley captain team that was hanging around. It still ended up being Higgins.
Oh, I'm with you on expensive captain tonight. Absolutely. It's I feel great about it. He looked good enough last week. I thought he was going to play last week.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't play last week, considering how big of a game it was. I think that if that had been like a divisional game or AFC where they were like playing somebody who mattered to their playoff chase, they may have pushed it. But because it was the Lions, they didn't.
I could see a 790 and 1 for Nico Collins tonight for sure.
Timothy Lee, we will do pick 6 and ride the snake.
Right, we'll ride the snake. We'll get our props in. Pick 6s.
Yes, sir.
We already did our first touchdown. I said Schultz, and you said
Stroud.
Houston defense. Okay. Stroud running. Okay. Any other super value plays, like super cheap plays you have hitting lineups yet?
I mean, we're going to need to know what Dallas does as far as elevating and de-elevating people based on Jonathan Mingo's presence.
True.
I don't think you want to play Mechie and Xavier Hutchinson with them having all their receivers except for Diggs.
I eliminated Hutchinson entirely.
I think Kavontae Turpin is playable under 1,000. I really don't think anybody's playable other than possibly Flournoy, depending And then
what about Deuce Vaughn?
I don't think he's going to be active.
Okay.
Schoonmaker I have in the pool.
I think Flournoy's the best.
It depends, because it's like if one of those three will probably be inactive. I don't think it's going to be Mingo. So,
but it's not going to be a 28-27 game where Flournoy becomes important. He's going to get 1 point.
Right.
He's going to catch a ball on the scrimmage and walk off at the sidelines.
They also,
this is my friend the Spaniard, by the way. It's my friend.
I will say this about Dallas. They threw the ball in the end zone to that big motherfucker, the third tight end, who was like 6'10". Brevin Span-Ford.
Yes. I can never search for him because I look for Ford and I can never find him.
Right.
So they're starting to span.
Him getting targets in the end zone was very eye-opening for me. CJ Vaughn. Deuce is another nickname that is the exact same as the J and CJ, by the way. So it's like he could just call CJ Stroud Deuce, even though he's
Bernard Stroud the fourth.
Yeah,
CJ.
I had a buddy in college named Quint. The fifth.
So he
went by Quint. I swear to God.
So his name was Quint.
No, he was just the fifth, whatever his fucking name was.
I'd like to get to the 10th and just be X. Matthew X.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
Would it?
No, not really.
Yes, right, the white Darnell Washington, except I don't think he's white.
Spanford, I don't know. Okay, one final school. What school does Spanford go to? This is the toughest one.
Iowa. All tight ends.
I was going to say Iowa. I was right
all
there.
All tight ends go to Iowa.
Span. We should do this for Wildcat Texas in the future. Spanford. Man, fuck, that's great. Good job, Schlechter. He was ready. Man, we were close.
So Iowa's close.
I said Iowa. I was going to say Iowa too. And not white. 6'7", 270, big boy.
He's huge. They say he was the tallest player in the NFL.
What? No way.
They also said he was like 6'9", so they could have been lying.
Yeah, he's a 6'7", 270. All right. Time for everyone's favorite game show and the segment everyone wants. Some people like it, some people don't. I didn't do it yesterday, but let's.
Then you shouldn't be afraid to ride the snake. Ride the snake.
We're missing Bryce today, so it's just two-man. Two-man booth and ride the snake. We can ride the snake together. Rules are simple.
Two-man snakes like Nora Boris.
Two-man snake. We go captains. We go 3 captains each. Actually, you know what? Let's stretch it to 5 because Bryce isn't here. We're going to stretch it to 5.
I don't even know if I'm going to have 5 captains, but I'll try.
Okay. I got to get my captain pool up. Done. No dupes, no mocking, no laugh. Bryce is still in prison in Syria from losing his keys. Nothing like a two-man snake ride. Wow. Think you could play Rico and Zeke together?
Yeah.
Yeah. What else are they going to do? Sam, a little late on Minnesota, but he got there. No mocking, no provisionals, no dupes, no eye contact. We are firmly on the snake, riding nuts to butts. Let's go. I flip the coin. Call it.
Queen.
Got it. You're first.
Joe Mixon.
Okay. Mixon. I am going to no dupes, so I'm going to go Mixon is my number 1, and then Nico Collins number 2.
Okay.
This is for captains.
Yeah. Nico Collins and CD.
Okay. On my Nico Collins Mixon split, I'd probably do half or more than half of my lineups with those two in a 150 build, with Mixon probably being 70-30, 60-40.
30 to 35% on Mixon at captain sounds right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going Stroud next and Tank Dell fourth.
My next one would be Rico Dowdle and then Joe Mixon.
Okay. My final one will be Schultz, Dalton Schultz. So complete Houston captain. At this point, complete Houston captain board. Mixon, Collins, Stroud, Dell, and Schultz. Mixon and Collins being at least half or more. 30 to 35% Mixon, probably 20 to 25% Collins. I don't like quarterbacks and captain, but Stroud does have a lot of people to throw to. You have Mixon, Collins, Lamb, Dowdle, and surprisingly at fifth, which I'm surprised you did, you have Mixon. I think we're the same makeup on the top two.
I like Lamb a lot more than you do.
Yeah, Lamb's my sixth. But Hurt, Cooper Rush, diva, as someone said, right?
Cooper Rush is a diva, yes.
Cooper Rush is a diva.
Cooper Rush is a diva.
How many rush yards does Stroud get? I think that's a good thing for our pick six. I have him at
12.
I have him at 10. Yeah.
12. I'm going 12.
Okay.
What's his
projection? We'll look at that in a second. Projection on Lamb. Mark probably has him at a 15.5.
17.
I have him at 11. A bad night for CeeDee Lamb.
Stroud's rushing prop is 8.5. So we both had him going over.
Oh, they knew it too. I'd go over on that.
Yeah.
All right, pick six. Brought to you by DraftKings. DraftKings, pick six, dkng.co/RPS. Use code RPS. You get $5 in pick six. You put $5 in, you get $50 in credit. Six picks has a min floor of 25 to 1. Or 20 to 1 or 25?
20 to 1.
20 to 1. But we've seen Showdown slates pay up to 40 or more. So
we've seen some big ones.
We've seen some big ones, yes. All right, you started by saying rushing yards.
CJ Stroud rushing yards over 8.5.
Okay, I like it. I'm going passing yards, Cooper Rush, 172.5. What do I have him at? 170. Rushing yards, rushing receiving touchdown.
He's got 1.5.
Mm-hmm. Where are my touchdowns here? Rushing and receiving touchdowns. Rushing plus receiving touchdowns. Receiving yards, excuse me. I'm a fucking idiot. Passing touchdowns. CJ Stroud over 1.5. He's getting 2 tonight.
Okay. I will go with Jake Ferguson over 35.5 receiving yards.
Okay. I like it. I'll go Schultz over 28.5 receiving yards.
Okay.
I need to find it under.
We'll go with Rico Dowdle under 53.5 rushing yards.
Okay. I like it. Ooh, Cooper Rush, 1.5 rushing yards. So you take the under.
Under?
Hang on.
I think it's
Jalen.
under.
I'll go Jalen Tolbert under 2.5 receptions.
Okay.
That's 6.
We can get a bonus one in here, though. We're going to go with Brad Marchand over 2.5 shots on goal.
Who are they playing?
The Blue Jackets.
My Leafs play tonight? No. Bruins minus 190 at home. God, the Coilers are going to smash the Canadians.
The play of the day for hockey is Anaheim Dallas over 6.5 minus 115.
Yeah, I put that over on the Oilers Canadians game. I see it as a 6-3 game, even though the Oilers suck. We did first down touchdowns. Mark's was rushing Stroud. Mine was Dalton Schultz. First touchdown. So our recap pick six, I'll put in the pick six on. Oh, they bumped it, Mark, based on this show. Stroud is now 9.5. Look what they fucking did. They're
listening.
They're listening.
The deep state. They did just bump Stroud to 9.5. That's crazy.
We should have taken the under, made it 7.5. So do we still want over 9.5? Because we believe 10.
You had 10 and I had 12, man.
They moved it. DK's listening. CJ Stroud over 9.5 rushing yards. I can't do two Strouds.
You're the one that took the second Stroud.
I'm gonna say passing yards, Cooper Rush under 172.5.
Okay.
Under. Over Dalton Schultz 27.5 receiving yards. Under Dowdle 53.5 rushing yards. Under Tolbert 2.5 receptions. Over, I love it, Jake Ferguson 35.5. They just moved Stroud back down to save face. That's it. Wow.
That was random.
Wiley 3-man NHL core. I haven't seen the lines, but I'd take power play 1 Edmonton. They come off a loss to Toronto and they're mad. They're not going to lose twice on the East Coast in Canada. Too good. They're too good.
Be the Dallas second line.
Yeah, Wyatt Johnson from Windsor. Friend of the family. Stud. That's it. Anything else, Mark?
Nope.
We rode the snake nuts to butts together. We have all our picks in. We have pick 6. We agree somewhat on the score and captains. Disagree on kickers. And you're higher on
Cowboys.
Yeah. Salute to you.